This is a passage from the novel A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. The book is about a friendship between Owen Meany and John Wheelwright. Owen Meany is a remarkably short boy with a remarkably high-pitched voice. Throughout the book, Owen and John try to piece together their destiny, from the constant practice of dunking basketballs by lifting and throwing Owen Meany at the rim, to the present day of this piece, to being drafted into the Vietnam War together. Their friendship is certainly faithful indeed. Owen Meany was jumpy as a mouse. One of the nuns spoke to him. "Officer," she said.
"Yes, ma'am. How may I help you?"
He said quickly.
"Some of the boys need to find a men's room. Would you be so kind as to take them?" "Yes, ma'am. I'd be happy to help the children,"
said Owen Meany. I led the way. Owen just concentrated on the children. There were 7 very small boys who all watched Owen very closely. They had seen many soldiers, yes, but they had never seen a soldier who was almost as small as they were. Well, they could hardly take their eyes off him. On the way, we marched past Dick Jarvis. Dick Jarvis was the tall, lunatic brother of a dead Warren officer. He was standing in the shadows. And although it was a dark corridor in which he stood, he wore the type of sunglasses that must have melted on his brother's face the day he died. We walked right on by him. When we got to the men's toilets, they were about the same as I left them. Owen Meany, being the good soldier, stood under the window and watched the door. Owen looked particularly small standing under that window. Because the window ledge was about 10 feet high, it practically towered over him. The children all jabbing in Vietnamese, they went to the bathroom. I looked over at Owen again to make sure he was all right. I decided to walk in to check on him, and as I moved toward him, the door was kicked wide open, and Dick stood there and held his stick grenade carefully in both hands.
"Hello, Dick,"
said Owen Meany. "You little twit," Dick said. One of the children screamed. I suppose they'd all seen a man in jungle fatigues before. I think that little boy who screamed had even seen a stick grenade before, too. The children then began to cry.
"Dungsa,"
Owen Meany told them.
"Don't be afraid. Dungsa, Dungsa,"
he said. It was not only that he spoke their language, it was his voice that compelled the children to listen to him. It was a voice like theirs. It's why they trusted him and why they listened.
"Dungsa,"
he said, and they stopped crying.
"It's just the place for you to die, with all these little gooks and dinks,"
Dick screamed.
"Nam soon,"
Owen told the children.
"Nam soon, lie down, lie down."
Even the littlest boy understood him. All the children threw themselves on the floor and covered their ears. Owen looked back at Dick.
"You can't do this, Dick,"
he told the terrible Sergeant Jarvis, who, as he said that, ripped the fuse cord off the grenade and tossed it end over end right to me. I caught the grenade. Although it wasn't as easy to handle as a basketball, I got lucky. I looked back at Owen, who was already moving towards me as we both instinctively knew what to do next.
"Ready?"
he said. I passed him the grenade and opened my arms to catch him. He jumped so lightly into my hands, I lifted him up as easily as I had when we were kids. When Owen Meany said ready, I figured we had about 2 seconds left to live. But he soared far above my arms when I lifted him. He soared even higher than usual. He went straight up, and instead of merely dropping the grenade and leaving it on that 10-foot high window ledge, he cut hold of the grenade and pinned it there with 2 hands. Clung there for about a second. Then the grenade detonated and made a shattering crack like lightning when it strikes too close, yet no fragments ended up hitting me or the children. Major Rawls, who had just killed Dick in the hallway outside, flung the door open. I looked around and saw the children's ears dripped with blood. There was a faded ringing in my head too, and the hearing echoed and returned with the sound of the Major yelling at me. "Where is he? Where is Owen?" he yelled. The nuns moved to the crater where Owen was last seen. Major Rawls and I moved quickly to assist her, but the nun didn't even need our help. Owen was so light, even she could lift him. She laid him down and placed his head on her lap. The other nun tried to move the children away, but they all crowded him in tears.
"Dungsa, don't be afraid,"
He told them, and they stopped crying again.
"Now I know why we had to be together. Always."
Owen told me as he raised his hands to touch me. And I think that's when he realized that his arms were gone. Just 2 stumps of flesh hanging like old laces. He didn't even seem surprised by the discovery. Owen actually just smiled at Major Rawls.
Please see to it that I get some sort of medal for this.
He told the Major, who bowed his head and cranked his tourniquet tight. And there was only for the briefest moment when Owen looked stricken, something deeper and darker painted across his face. And he said something to the knight who held him.
I'm awfully cold, sister. Can't you do something?
And then all of a sudden, whatever had troubled him passed over him completely. And then he smiled and looked at all of us with that old infuriating smile. And then he looked only at me. And then he left us. He was gone. Well, I could tell by his almost cheerful expression that he was at least as high as the palm trees. Major Ross saw to it that Owen Meany got his medal. Major Ross knew just about everything Owen didn't know. But the Major knew only that Owen had been a hero. He didn't know that Owen Meany had been a miracle too. And so there's a prayer I say most often for Owen. It's one of the little prayers he said for my mother.
Into paradise may the angels lead you.
Said that over my mother's grave that night in the dark. And so I say that one thing because I know it was one of his favorites. And I'm always saying prayers for Owen Meany. Thank you.